Hey guys, what is up? Kassab here, back again with another video for you. Today we're going to discuss whether or not watches are a good investment. So let's just go into a little quick question that I got in the last video from one of our customers, and he goes, "Hi Kassab, good video, presented as always. Just a quick inquiry for myself. I'm planning to go for a AP offshore 44mm titanium ceramic. Please advise if it's good to collect or should I go for a Rolex or another AP model? Thanks." When I started speaking to him, he was explaining to me that he's from Singapore. Personally, whenever I would sell to the Asian market, usually I do know that they prefer the smaller pieces. So while we were on the phone, I asked him a bit about that, due to the fact that usually I do have smaller wrists. He was explaining to me that he usually only goes up to 41mm, so when I asked him if he would be comfortable wearing something of this nature, this 44mm offshore Queen Elizabeth, it's a 2016 limited edition by AP. I was asking him if he thought it would be something that would be a good fit, considering that you have that case which dangles off the sides and you're going to have a lot of excess space if you have a smaller wrist. I don't know if you can see that right there. So when I started talking to him, he was telling me, no, yeah, you're right. I completely agree with you. And he did ask me what I thought would be a better investment and that would hold its value over time. So I guided him towards a 15300 ST 39mm, which Danny will probably prop up over here, over my right hand. That's a more collectible piece in my opinion, the 39mm with a white dial. However, he did request I would find the black dial for him. Today we're going to go over different pieces that I have on my desk right now, and let's see which ones I personally believe are better investments over others. So let's begin by talking about Rolexes. In this specific model, we're going to be talking about the 116610 LV, also known as the Hulk, the Submariner date, with the green insert and dial. Now, this little watch has been going around since mid-2019 with the speculation that it's going to be discontinued. However, as we saw previously in the market, it went all the way up to $17,500 for a brand new one, back down to around the 15 mark, and now it's around $13,000 for a pre-owned one, which relatively goes like almost $2,000 or more or less, up and down, depending on the condition of the watch. This piece, I wouldn't consider an investment yet, as it isn't something that has been discontinued. Although if you do get it for retail, it's something that you can put in the safe and know that you're gonna have your money and then some on top of it. Remember that 2018, 2017 prices were around $7,000, $8,000 for this specific piece. So it has gone up over time, but it's not something that I would consider a collectible yet. Now let's get into the Rolex Batman GMT Master 2. 116710 BLNR. As I stated before in the previous video, one of my favorite pieces. Now, this piece specifically does have investment value. As a matter of fact, I think the retail is around $9,500, $9,700. If you were to buy this piece right now, let's say retail, you could probably resell it about around $12,500 to $12,000 to $12,500, more or less. That's a brand new watch, unworn. Don't quote me on that if you're gonna come in here with the pre-owned one. Now, the beauty of this piece, discontinued last year, still has amazing value overall. The prices around 2017 were more or less around the same thing as the Hulk, 8,000, 7,000, around that mark. When they started going up in price and getting a bit crazier and crazier, everyone started trying to collect. Now you have a couple of these in the market, but you can't really find the perfect examples that you would say are brand new. Definitely a 9 out of 10. As we continue down the line of professional models, we're gonna get into this Daytona chronograph. Now, I am gonna be very honest with you. I would never, ever buy this as an investment piece because it's too new. Remember that these newer models that come out, just like the Pepsi GMT on a Jubilee and stuff of that nature, they have a ridiculous premium over retail, but they're not considered something that's gonna hold its value over time because it's something that continues to be produced. This specific model, I would not buy over an 116520. That's the previous model with the stainless steel bezel. Now, the reason is because the retail for this is $12,450 plus taxes, let's say 13,000 something and change. This model is going for $23,000 right now. Now, if you think that Rolex will not continue to produce this for the next 5 years, then all right, keep it in the safe, wear it, sell it, you're gonna make some money if you get it for retail. Now, if you're gonna go and pay $23,000 for this, expecting that in 5, 6, 10 years it's gonna be worth what you paid for, you're gonna be a little bit mad when you do get your quote from any gray market dealer that might try to sell it to you, or buy it from you for that matter. Now let's continue to the Sky Dweller model. This is Rolex's most complicated movement. Now with this blue face, it's gonna run you around $25,000 right now. That's the market price. However, would I tell you to buy this at $25,000 thinking you're gonna keep your money there? No, hell no. This is again something that's going with trends and what people believe is something worth having. The blue is one of the more exclusive colors to obtain. The difficulty on that, I'd say if I were gonna rank it from 1 to 10, obtaining this color is probably gonna be an 8 or a 9 without paying a premium for it, or at least a ridiculous premium of that nature. Now, if I was gonna get you to buy a piece, I would say something like a yellow gold, rose gold Sky Dweller. That's more in the market. Not a collectible, definitely not. It's still being produced, but it would have more value to have something that has a precious metal than buying a stainless steel watch for $23,000, $24,000, $25,000, depending on its condition. Continuing down the road with the Daytonas, this is the Rose Gold Daytona. This watch, personally, the stories I have of this are genuinely something unique. It's like someone in the comments said before about selling their GMT for 4,200 euros about 4 years ago. This watch was one of the first watches my father bought for my mother. She wore this for a very long time and then one day decided she wanted to sell it. When I came down and sold it to one of my associates who I deal with now in watches, he paid me $19,000. $19,500 if I'm not mistaken. Now, keep in mind, this watch at the time was nothing that hot. Right now, they're going for $32,000, $33,000, $34,000. That's an appreciation of almost 100%, Dan? Would that be 100? Yeah. So if you go and you were to have bought this watch when it was in that all-time low, now remember something, back let's say about 4 or 5 years, more or less, people weren't that into the gold pieces. They were more about the professionals, and even then, Rolex didn't have as much traction within the general public, so you would have all these watches stocked up in stores. I think something to blame for the recent come up of all these watches and their ridiculous premiums, I would not blame, but I would associate something with like rap culture. You have all these songs about Rolly Rolex. You have the you have a bunch of people marketing the brand, not intentionally, but I mean, most people, the first thing that they want to buy when they make it big or they have some type of funds available is a Rolex because it gives you a status symbol. This is by far, out of the 3 main brands, which is Patek, AP, and Rolex, this is number 3. You start with the stainless steel models, you work your way up to the two-tone, which I don't have on the desk right now, and then you would go into the gold piece. Never buy a white gold piece when you can get a stainless steel model, which is why you're paying those ridiculous premiums on the stainless steel Sky Dweller. But then also the two tones are a little bit difficult because not everyone likes those two pieces, those two metals mixed together. Except for that, maybe the root beer, which is something that's a little bit hot right now in the market. It stays around its retail price, pre-owned or brand new. Now we're gonna go into AP. Now, what I said about two tones mainly applies to Rolex. You can buy a two-tone Submariner black face. It's not gonna sell for the same as a two-tone Submariner with the blue face. And that just has to do with general people's perception of the colors. They prefer something a little bit more pop. Would you say poppy, Dan? Like it pops more. Poppy is a word, but it makes you feel good, go ahead. It makes you feel good. It gives you that one perception of something different, you know? Now, personally, with AP, the whole brushed steel and gold just gives it a different vibe. It's not that flashy, flamboyant gold piece in the center link. Now, with this one, I also have a story. You see, my father gave this to my stepmother as, I think this was her second watch. Her first was a Graham, and then she went into, she had a Yachtmaster 2 two-tone rose gold, and then she had this. Now, this baby, she bought for, I think it was around 14 or 15,000, like early 2017. This watch, I don't think you can get your hands on it for less than $30,000 right now. She sold it with an appreciation by the time that she had it for about 6 months before she went into a Patek 5980 rose gold. She had this and she sold it with a profit of about $6,000, $6,000 or $7,000 in late 2017, early 2018 when the prices started going up for most of these pieces. So definitely this is something to keep in mind. This piece is discontinued. You can't get this anymore. I would definitely say this is something nice to add to your collection if you like that dual tone combination. Again, you go from Rolex, you upgrade to AP. Now let's go to the big dog, Patek. Now let's talk about Big Papi Patek over here. Now this is a beautiful watch. Danny's probably gonna add some B-roll right here, the movement on the back, and let me tell you, you're gonna be marveled by the beauty behind this piece. Now, the Patek Nautilus was generally staying really low, as I had stated previously in, I believe the Richard Mille video is where I told you guys how my parents were mainly selling these watches for around 60 or 70,000. Not this specific model, that's the 5980 Rose, which also, let's add a picture right here, Danny. The 5980 Rose was selling for about 60, 70,000 in early 2017 or mid 2017, around the summer. Then out of nowhere, the price just went up and crazy, blowing up. And I believe it was in 2017 that Joe Genta died, the one who designed the Nautilus case. And then it started spiking up the prices even higher and higher. Now you can't get any of those watches for less than 100 and something thousand, 120,000 more or less for a 5980 rose gold, or 130 something thousand. Now this is another starting point, and this piece has been teased before with an entire metal bracelet, which was something that was passed around between dealers, someone who had probably photoshopped the image of the box that it came in, 5712R, and then the full metal bracelet. This is something that you get when you want to graduate AP Academy. Now this is what many people call a heavy hitter, but the reality of it is nothing will ever compare to the beauty and the mechanics behind the Patek Philippe. Anytime you invest or you buy one of these pieces, know that your money is safe and sound with a brand that has over 150 years in history, 150-year history. They've perfected the watchmaking. Nothing will ever come close to this. This piece is going for around 60,000 without box or papers. Maybe in the 70,000 mark, full set. I can tell you if you put your money here, you're gonna have it. Like if you ever lose a dime on this watch, it will probably be around $1,000 or $2,000, but don't expect to lose more than that on something as beautiful as this. So in conclusion, today we covered Rolex, some of the pieces worth it, not worth it as investment pieces for the meantime. We went over Audemars Piguet, this beautiful two-tone. Again, discontinued pieces for Audemars are some of the, I guess, best purchases you can make. And then we covered Big Daddy Patek. I highly recommend you check out this brand if you don't know about it. It's one of those brands that doesn't have a boutique, but if you know about it, it's because you're in the watch, not in the watch business, you're into the watch world. When you hit this level, you'll never want to go below it. Guaranteed. As always, I'd love to hear your comments down below. Some of you have said before in the previous videos that watches are not an investment, period. I would disagree with you, as the time I spent in this business has allowed me to see the different changes in the market over time. You guys can leave me a like or a dislike, and don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends. Take care, guys.